And no one has ever said, okay, I'm higher than you. I come first. You come second. She comes third. No one ever says that, guys. But it's something that we kind of like subconsciously do. There is a pecking order in our families. And I don't need to make a farm video telling you about the pecking order in life, but you already know this. But what I am trying to do is let you understand that when you have a copper, or I was about the video over here, but guess why I'm not? What in the world, Ernie? He has like some kind of a pooping thing. It's weird. It's like he wants us to watch him poop. Listen, I'm not feeling sorry for myself, but I do understand about the dynamics of herd mentality, because I too am in a herd, if you will. Listen, I can be talking to mom one-on-one and have her full attention, but Sister Kim shows up, and all of a sudden I like fade away. I'm still here. Yet I literally, it's like I fade away, because Kim is the top of our pecking order in our family. And then, but wait, then if Brother Dan shows up, Uncle Dan as we call him, if he shows up, now Kim and I both kind of slowly fade away. And so there's nothing against, Kim, or Dan or my mom. But humans, guys, we do have a pecking order. And unfortunately, I'm not at the top of that. I'm actually pretty low towards the bottom. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and say this, but someone like, here she is right over here now, Brienne shows up. And I fade away. And so what makes it that way? It doesn't matter if you're male or female, if you're younger or older, where you were born in the family, there is a pecking order. Annie still gets her midday spray down, and so does Ernie, and so does my pig Trudy. Oh boy, it feels so good, Daddy. Today's about 95 degrees, which is a shock to have this kind of temperatures here in September. But our tropical storm / hurricane / depression that came through here, Nicholas, not too long ago, man, it cleared out everything. It cleared everything out. And now all we have is a lot of heat. However, it's September. It should be cooling off a little bit, and it hasn't yet. So we're just enjoying the water hose today. A lot of people don't realize, they don't think that we do this anymore ever since Carl has shown up. And man, I'm about tired of having to defend Carl. But don't forget that what I choose to video in let's just say a 10-minute video every day is not what goes on the other 23 hours of our day. Man, I've said that so many times though, guys. Sometimes I feel like I sound like a broken record. There's not one animal in this sanctuary who has gone without since Carl has arrived. The only person who has gone without would be you guys. You haven't seen as many videos on the other babies since I spent several weeks getting to know Carl. And I'm not sorry. I was going to say sorry, but I'm not sorry. I'm getting to know Carl. And that's what I've chosen to video for the folks who are equally interested in Carl. And so when I take the number of people who comment and say, I'm tired of seeing Carl. It's all about Carl. And everyone else, no one else gets with the life they used to have ever since Carl shown up. Guys, that is so untrue. That is so untrue. Now, what's going on right now is not Carl. It's Copper. Copper's brand new, and no one has gotten to know him yet. So don't be sitting here blaming Carl for the fact that Annie and Ernie's bath has been cut a little bit short. Today we're adding someone to our mix, Copper. So what will happen is, over the next couple of weeks, Carl, along with all the other babies, will determine their pecking order. And pecking order is a lot more than just who eats out of what food pile or out of which food bowl. Pecking order also is who gets the first bath, who gets the first spray down. So what happens is if Copper is in fact going to be someone who enjoys an afternoon spray down, when he walks up, guess what? He may go first. If Carl was to walk over here, guess what? He and Copper may have to decide who's going to go first. But Annie and Ernie and Pig Trudy and everyone else who likes a cornholio and Newt and everyone else who enjoys the water, the midday water down, they're not going to go without their water down. They're going to have to just find their place in line and take their turns. So let's talk real fast about pecking order and how it also is a human characteristic. And sometimes, like I said, I sound like a broken record when I repeat things in the same video or video after video, but this seems to be the hot topic in all the comments lately, which is ridiculous that I have to even address this. But here we go. Let's talk about your family. Let's talk about when you go to an event with your whole family, not just your immediate family, but I mean your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles. All right, you ready for this? It may hurt your feelings. How many of y'all feel like when you're at one of those kind of events, you have an equal opportunity to talk and be heard? Think about that for a minute. I won't say it again. When you're at one of those big events, how many of y'all feel like you have an equal opportunity to talk and be heard? Or when you do say something, how many feel like whatever you say is just simply overlooked and people get right back to a different part of the conversation? Who feels like whenever you go to sit down at the table, you're not allowed to sit in certain spots because those are kind of informally reserved for people who have a higher status than you do? And no one has ever said, okay, I'm higher than you, I come first, you come second, she comes third. No one ever says that, guys, but it's something that we kind of like subconsciously do. There is a pecking order in our families. There is. And if you're saying that it's not, you know why? It's probably because you're at the top of it and you don't even realize it. If you think that doesn't exist, then here's the thing. You probably are at the top of that pecking order because you probably are very snarky to your other family members and they end up adhering to you and you don't even realize it. Okay, so then let's go to the school, the classroom, the playground, anything school related. In every classroom, there is a guy and there is a girl who are at the top of the pecking order. It is. And I'm not saying they meet in the bathroom and fight to determine that pecking order. But you know what? They don't have to. They find other ways to determine that pecking order. And at some point, kids all find their place on that pecking order. And if you say, for example, okay, you guys, let's get lined up. I'm going to pass out something that they want, a piece of candy or something. Guess what? They will find their place in line. You will learn real fast who is higher on that pecking order by having them form their own things. Now, the only thing about school is sometimes the coolest kids, the higher pecking orders, will want to go last. That's kind of a clout thing. So you really can't look at the order of a line, because sometimes the kids who have the most clout or the higher in the pecking order will want to go last. Let's go to the workplace. Ooh, the workplace. Yes, the workplace. You ever go to the break room or the snack room or teacher's lounge, since I'm a teacher, and find out who sits where? Which voice is the one that you hear more than the others? Who is the one that when they talk, everyone listens? It's not because everyone just loves that person. Not always, not most times. It's because that person has the type of personality that demands that they be heard, that they insist that they sit at this spot. They must be at the head of the table. They must be at the... You know what I'm saying here. Pecking order exists in all animal species. And I don't need to make a farm video telling you about the pecking order in life, but you already know this. But what I am trying to do is let you understand that when you have a copper or... I was about to video over here, but guess why I'm not? What in the world, Ernie? He has like some kind of a pooping thing. It's weird. It's like he wants us to watch him poop. That is the weirdest thing. I'm not calling... You know what? I don't know. Everybody has their thing, I guess. I'm going to the shade. That's my thing. I'm sitting here in the sun. It's beating down on me. It's 95 degrees. I'm not watering anybody down. They've all left the water. And I'm sitting here baking for nothing. So anyway, so pecking order is real. As of right now, Copper is a new addition to the family, and he's demanding a little bit higher place in that pecking order than what was here before. We knew that was going to happen. Every time you bring a new baby in, you know that there's going to be a little bit of a power struggle to figure out who's higher than the others. And it will show itself in more ways than just who's going to eat first. That's why I am so happy that Carl is not that kind of a bird. Now here we go. This is crazy. A video where you don't even see Carl, yet I keep talking about him. Because Carl has never fought any of these babies for pecking order. Guess what? He didn't have to. You know why? Because they respect him for his stature. They allow him pecking order for his stature. But even then, he doesn't scare them away from food. He doesn't demand that he has more than them. Instead, just the opposite. He watches over them while they eat. And then what a great leader is he comes back at the end and will finish up what they don't eat. I love that bird. And I love this pig, Copper. And guess who I also love? And I'm sad to say it, but she's probably the lowest on the pecking order right now. Our sweet little Lola. Our sweet little Lola. Baby, Daddy does love you so much. I'm sorry you're out here by yourself, sweetie. She has food. She has water. She has shade. She has access to the pond, which is mud. And I come out and check on her throughout the day, guys. She's fine. Oh, but I know you love her. Look who's quiet today. I'm glad you're here. I want to catch your opinion on something. And tell me how true this is.
Okay.
I'm talking about animals and how they have a pecking order. Do you know what that even means?
Yeah.
So naturally, animals will, when you herd animals, will find their place in line, if you will. Mm-hmm. And so I'm talking about how humans also have a pecking order. You never went and beat someone up to prove you're better than her. Mm-hmm. But around your workplace, there's a lot of women. But you already know kind of who is the top dog, if you will. Mm-hmm. How do they get that? How do you earn that pecking order?
By being full in work.
Just say it.
I can't say it without sounding hateful.
Okay, but it is a little bit of hatefulness.
I mean, whoever's the best at what they do, whoever.
So at your workplace, if you're better at what you do, I think at my workplace as a school teacher, it was the same way. If your boss knows you're going to kick ass and you don't have to check up on you and follow up behind you and everything, you do have a little bit more clout. Now let me ask you this then. This is going to get kind of personal. With the extended family, when we all have a big family gathering, I said that it doesn't matter how old you are, because it's not the oldest in the family jump to the top of the pecking order. Mm-hmm. When we have a big group, there are some that kind of get pushed back to the side, never physically, but what makes that? Because that has nothing to do with how hard you work. Go ahead and just say it.
You're going to get me in trouble.
I'm going to get you in trouble.
This is just personal
We don't have to
opinion,
say any
right?
names. We don't have to say any names.
Whoever, you have to be the most cautious around. Whoever you have to work the hardest not to make mad or...
But why? They're not going to take you out back and beat the hell out of you.
No, that's just, that's our personal family, though. They're going to work hard to make everyone stay together and make someone not leave the family. So
whoever you have to work hardest around, careful what you say, jump to the top of the pecking order in family events. Mm-hmm. That's an interesting concept.